Now, quite often Excel spreadsheets have a lot of data in them. And so we can actually format this data as a table, and that will allow us to make selections and kind of filter the data that is displayed. So what we're going to do is select A3, which is where our column headings start. We're going to select A3 through I-41, so way down here. And we're going to go into our home ribbon. And we are going to click on the Format as a Table button. And then you're going to see all sorts of fun little table styles. And we are going to pick Table Style Medium 18, which is this lovely gray style. We're going to go ahead and select it. Where's the data for your table? We highlighted our data, so it should be showing the right range. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. You'll also notice my table as headers is turned on, which is correct. We have our column headings there. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And then we're going to just click in any cell within our table to get rid of all that highlighting. And they want you to know a couple kind of neat things about tables. So we're going to add a new row to the bottom. Now you would think that it wouldn't be included in our table, but once we start adding in the data, Excel is pretty smart, so it extends the table to include the new data. And I'm just pressing Tab to go from one cell to the next. And you'll notice it kind of auto-filled in birthday party, which is awesome because I'm not going to type anymore because that was correct. Love that feature. And it did it with Star Lake as well. And yes. Let me just press enter. Okay, so now I've got my new data added, and Excel was smart enough to include it in the table. And so you already saw how it does that with new rows. Now we're going to add a new column so you can see what it does there. So I'm going to click on J3, which is where my column heading would go. And I'm going to key in contract total for my column heading. And then I'm going to press enter. And voila, it now knows that it needed to add a new column to the table as well. And I'm going to widen this just a little bit so you can actually see my heading. And then what we're going to do for the data is we're going to enter a formula. We're going to press the enter key. And Excel is smart enough to use that formula for everything. And we don't even have to fill it. So the formula is going to be equal. We're going to take the value in G4. And we're going to multiply that by the value in I4. And you'll notice that it's putting in some funky text, which is fine. Go ahead and press enter. And poof, it fills it in. Now you could be wondering, well, if I just type the cell references, would it work? Yes, it would. Let me undo this and show you. If I just want to do the cell references, I didn't want to do the point and click method. So if I do equal G4 times I4, press enter, it works that way too. Now, they want the accounting format because these numbers definitely do need to be formatted. So, unfortunately, we do have to highlight them all for this. And then we're going to just click on the accounting button, and that will format all of those cells. Now they would like the width of this to be 16 or close to 16. And if you have trouble getting it exact, you can go into format and column width. And now we have exactly the width they want. And they would also like a total row on this. So I'm going to click. You have to make sure anytime you want to adjust your table, you do need to make sure that you're in the table. And we're going to go into Table Tools Design. And they would like us to turn on total row. Okay, so now we have a total row, and it's totaling up right now that very last column. And they would like us to activate G43. Let me see what column that is. That would be the number of guests. So we're going to activate G43. And then you'll notice that there's like a little drop-down arrow. We're going to click on that, and we are going to display the sum. Now, these are all the different statistical functions that we've been using, and we're going to choose sum. So that is giving us a total number of guests. And then for I43, and that should be the price per person, we are going to display the average. And because we've got all of those decimal places, we are going to decrease the number of decimals to 2 digits past the decimal point. So we'll go into home, and we're going to decrease that until we just see 2 of them instead of all of those trailing decimals. And I want us to kind of scroll up here and kind of fix the merge and center to include J. So we're just going to highlight A1 here through J1. And we'll just hit merge and center twice. The first one unmerges, and the second one kind of remerges and includes that new cell. And we're going to do the same thing for row 2. We're going to kind of unmerge and then remerge. And why don't we go ahead and hit save. And keep this open because we are not quite done with it yet.